The outgoing commander of the 138th Civil Engineering Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Kurt Stevens.
Well, as we were looking to determine where to do this ceremony, it's quite ironic that we settled here in front of Building 240, because 22 years ago, this is where I started first project coming on as a deputy base civil engineer to complete this building. So it's somber that this is where my CE career comes to an end. I'd like to thank Colonel Munchler for attending. I'd like to thank Colonel Phillips, Colonel Kavanaugh, Colonel Neeson, other Colonel Phillips, Colonel Miller, and my military mentors for showing the faith in me and supporting me as a CE commander and as a deputy and as a BCE to allow me to do my job and allow me to complete missions that allow the 138 to succeed. Thanks to my wife, Julia, my daughters that have supported me through many hours of work, many late nights, many deployments, and just a lot of pressure and consternation that you've always been there for me. I'd like to thank my dad, my sisters, for supporting me 33 years ago with the encouragement to sign that dotted line and take that first oath. Special thanks to my dad, retired Master Sergeant. He's the motivation that caused me to sign up. Thank you, Dad. CE's been my family for 22 years. I thank my team for always showing up and shining and making me look good as their leader. A leader's only as good as the people they serve. And you have always served me well. I thank you very much. You have lived true to the motto that engineers lead the way. You have done that throughout the whole time that I've been in CE. The whole time I've fought with you, you've always met that standard. Through COVID issues, deployments, transitions to Afrigen, and many other adventures, we have built houses for veterans in many states. We've built a Girl Scout camp in Hawaii. We've built shelters in Israel. We built border fence. Numerous things we've done together. We've won awards both as units and as individuals, and I stand proud to call you brothers and sisters in arms. And you will forever hold a heartfelt place in my heart. So my last thought, I'd like to paraphrase a quote from the great quarterback Shane Falco, who said, "I wish I could say something classy and inspirational, but that just wouldn't be the CE way. Pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever. It's been an honor sharing the field of battle with each of you. Strength and honor."
Lieutenant Colonel Stevens will now receive his final salute from the 138th Civil Engineer Squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the 138th Civil Engineering Squadron change of command. Attention to orders. Under the provisions of AFI 51604, Special Order Number 23138, Lieutenant Colonel Kurt W. Stevens relinquishes command of the 138th Civil Engineer Squadron to Major Patrick Deering, effective 7 May 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the new commander of the 138th Civil Engineer Squadron, Major Patrick Deering.
Well, I don't know how you follow a quote from Shane Falco, but I'll give it a try. I've really just got a handful of thank yous, a quick story, and then just a couple of words for the men and women of the 138th Civil Engineer Squadron. Thank you, General Munchley, for coming out. We haven't had a chance to meet yet, but I'm sure we will in the future. Wing leadership, and Scott, thanks for breaking away from a very important life event to be here, man. It means a lot. Colonel Miller, thanks for making the drive from Oklahoma City. So start with my family. My mom and dad, thanks for the support over all the years. Kind of giving me that perfect blend of just enough push out the door to let me fail and learn some things the hard way, but always being there to catch me. My brother, my big little brother Tommy, the guy that's allergic to boredom. Thanks for showing me what hard work looks like. Thanks for showing me what being a good husband and a father looks like at the same time, while building a very successful organization all at the same time. To my crazy kids, you guys put up with more than you know, and you mean a lot more to me than you could possibly ever understand. We planned that. To my wife, holy smokes, I don't know how you do it. Being a military spouse is not easy. Being a military spouse is never convenient, and it's rarely easy. But you do it with an amount of poise and grace that I'll never understand. Thank you. To my operations superintendents that I've had the honor of working with for the last couple of years, Senior Peterson, Senior Stovall, Senior Charles, Senior Wilson, I'm standing up here largely because of you and other senior NCOs like you that have helped me get here. Excuse me. Thank you. That's all I can say is thank you. More Shane Falco. That's what I need in my life. So my last thank you, it comes with a little bit of a story, and it's really for Colonel Stevens. If it wasn't for Colonel Stevens, I'd never be here at the 138th today. The story is, so he hired me in December of 2019. My first day on the job was December 2nd, 2020. So he had to wait a long time for me to come home from a deployment, figure out how I got off active duty. But your patience wasn't the best part of the story. What most of you probably don't know is that every week between the day he hired me and the day I showed up, he was texting or calling just to see how I was doing. And mostly while I was deployed away from my own home command, he was making sure that I was okay. He was making sure that my family was okay. Julie was reaching out to my family to make sure they were doing okay. That level of person or people-focused leadership is extremely hard to find. And I thank you so much for it. All right. To the men and women of the 138th Civil Engineer Squadron, it has been an awesome ride over the last 2.5 years working with you guys. Colonel Phillips and I were talking a couple weeks ago about command. In large part, it was a, hey, don't screw this up conversation. But he imparted some really good wisdom. It's a comment I've heard before, but it really didn't sink in until that day. And the comment is that command is a privilege, and it's a privilege you have to earn every single day. I'm a huge fan of former General Mark Welch's thoughts on leadership. One of his thoughts is that leadership is a gift, and it is given by those who follow. So for the men and women of the 138th Civil Engineer Squadron, it's an honor and a privilege to be your commander. It is my intent that I will work every day to earn that privilege and earn the gift of leadership that you've given me. Strength and honor. Thank you.
At this time, Major Deering will now receive his first salute from the 138th Civil Engineer Squadron.
Squadron, take hut. 3 day. March. Order. March. Parade. Hut.
Now for the assumption of command for the 219th Engineering and Installation Squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the 219th Engineering and Installation Squadron Assumption of Command. Publish the order. Attention to orders. Under the provisions of AFI 51604, Special Order Number 23219, Lieutenant Colonel Stevens assumes command of the 219th Engineering and Installation Squadron, 7 May 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the new commander of the 219th Engineering and Installation Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Kurt Stevens.
First things first, we have to make the change. Make it official. And something I didn't do in my CE speech, I want to thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Kelly, retired CE commander. We appreciate you joining us here. Honor for you to be here with us. I thank the wing and the group leaders for allowing me to take command of the 219th EIS. It's a bit of a homecoming, as we talked about, that 33 years ago I enlisted as an A1C down in the EI unit. I was the EA. My first job was to tear all the vines off the berm around the building. Rather humbling. So to all you young, bright-eyed airmen out there that say that you can never go home and don't let anyone trample your dreams, not a lot of people get the privilege of leaving as where you started as an A1C and coming back as the commander. So I thank you for that opportunity. As a young staff sergeant, I sat with at a dinner meal with old Chief Lanham. We were on a job. I was running the engineering shop there, and he told me, he said, Stevens, someday you'll be my commander. I didn't make it in time for Chief Lanham, but hey, Chief Lanham, here I am. I'm back. So, to the airmen of the 219th, I make this promise to you. I will serve you with all my heart. I will be your biggest protector and your biggest advocate. I will be in your business because I care for you, and I want you to succeed at every point in your career. Don't be surprised if you find me out in the trench digging with you, getting in your work areas, playing with your tools, doing the things, because that's how my dad raised me. He raised me to do things. So, in return for those promises, I ask you do these things. Always follow your core values. Exercise the triple F. That's called fail, fast, forward. That was introduced to me by an old football coach. When I would mess up on the field, he would say, Stevens, fail, fast, forward. That way they don't see it as long. Made sense. So go hard, go fast. You're going to fail. Everyone will do it. Just if you do it hard, it's not as evident. They don't see it as long. Exercise servant leadership. You're all leaders. So when given the opportunity, take those stripes out for a spin. Always remain flexible, pliable, and trainable. Together, if you do that, we will build the best EI squadron in the Air Force. I'll finish my quote with a quote that he stole from me. Leadership is a gift given by those you serve. I thank you for this gift and the continued opportunity to serve, and I pray that I don't let you down. Strength and honor.
At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Stevens will receive his first salute from the 219th Engineering and Installation Squadron.
Squadron, 10, hut. Present, hunt. Order, hunt. Parade, rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Please rise for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. On behalf of Colonel Phillips, Lieutenant Colonel Stevens, Major Deering, I would like to thank you all for attending today's ceremony. Please join both squadrons in Building 240 DFAC for the reception, refreshments, and congratulate the 138th Fighter Wing's newest commanders. Group dismissed.
I did. He was in the shop. Thank you for checking.